All right, this is John. Here's the 92 Mercedes-Benz 300E with a M103. And here's a quick recap of what I've been trying to do here for the last week. The original problem that I'm working on is just an oil leak, not a horrible oil leak, but an oil leak that, eventually leaves puddles on the driveway. And the leak is coming from that oil filter mounting bracket, and it's got 4 6mm Allen bolts holding it on. And so I thought it's hard to gain access to them. It's just real tight. I got black and blues all over my arms from being in there. I thought maybe I should take off this intake manifold and give me better access to it. Then I got to the point where I got everything loosened out of the way on the top, and I was going to start working on the bottom to undo the bolts and lift the manifold out of the way. And I started thinking about it. I was going, wait a minute, even with that manifold out of the way, I still have to bend over and get to these bolts right here. And I can do it right now because I disconnected throttle cables, Bowden cables, vacuum this, vacuum that, and I go, wow, I got a little bit more room. So I decided to hold off on removing this and start working on that. And I've got all the bolts loose. It's just real hard to access. It's real hard getting a long Allen on those bolts. You have to do all these different tricks. I had to take, you'll see in the video, I had to take another 6mm that I found in my junk pile, and I had to cut it down so I could get it on there, and I was trying to break it loose. And so it was about 4 hours of struggling on these bolts. 3 of them were super tight. They're still on there, they're just loosened. Today I'm just going to remove them, but my finger. One upper mounting bolt, there's 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. One up here, the last one, it wasn't even tight. It was loose. And I think that's where the oil leak was coming from. It's under pressure, it's blowing past the gasket and pulling up down here on a little area, and then eventually running down the back of the engine and making it look like a rear main seal leak. But I identified it, I don't know, maybe last summer with some UV dye, and I could see traces of the oil, coming out there. And over the years, I've seen this puddle of oil on a shelf on the side of the block, and I clean it up with a stick and a rag, and clean it up. Then no leaks for a month. And after about a month, it starts leaking again, and I look down there, and that pool of oil is back. So it takes that long for it to, fill up and then overflow. So that's the story. So now, thank God, I'm going to leave that there. No big deal putting all this stuff back, because you're not on your back underneath hook, trying to do that bottom part. So today I'm just going to try to, I'm going to get that mounting bracket out, and we're going to clean everything up there, and put a new gasket on there, and tighten it down. And then I can be done with this. This has bugged me for several years. I mean, I even posted on Ben's World. Has anybody ever taken this bracket off? Nobody. I couldn't find anybody. And they were giving me suggestions. Get this kind of tool, that kind of tool, and take the manifold off maybe, you know. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do that because the car runs good, you know. It's just a little oil leak. But anyways, so that's the story on this. I don't know what else I can say. Well, I decided I should probably clean this before I put it back all, you know, back together. And it's pretty nasty, but not horrible. So I'm just going to use some of this orange citrus cleaner. See if this will do a stream. Oh, great, it will. So, still trying to get that oil filter mounting bracket off. And I need to cut this down to about right there. So I got a little thing to get to the it's 6mm Allen. Before other video I said 5.5, but it's since I cleaned all those things out with the steamer. So this is hardened steel. This is an extra one I have from all the box, you know, of oddballs over the years. You get these, you know, save them. So I tried cutting it with a hacksaw. It doesn't cut. It's hardened steel. So I'm gonna try this right here. We'll see what happens. Okay, it is working. This is hardened steel, so you want to keep it kind of cool so it doesn't lose its hardness, I guess. This is old. It's got wires everywhere. Yeah. I did it. I did it. Amazing. You got to get one of these. I've used it for so many weird projects. Sure it's not too hot. And it's kind of a weird angle. It's hard to, I can file it down a little bit. I just need it like that to be able to get into that hidden 6mm Allen. Okay. Yeah, I got that. I got this one to fit the bottom bolt and the top bolt, which are the hardest ones to get to. So I'm gonna make a little more room and take off the oil sender. Tight, unloosen. Isn't this fun? What I'm trying to do is get this off to replace the gasket. I was going to take the intake manifold off, but then I said, why? I'm still going to be leaning over here in this corner. So we'll try it. It might be on there really hard. We'll try it. Made in Germany. I think I got this one. I think I went to the dealer because all the other aftermarket ones were all start leaking on me. Okay, so we got that done. Good Lord. So I've got that one there. First, I'll see if I can get the good wrench on it. I'll try the top one. I don't think so. I don't think so. Such a pain. I'll see if I can get this on there somehow. God, it's so hard. It's dark. It's daylight, and it's still dark cavern down here. Oh my God, it's such a pain. I think it's in. Let's see if I can undo it. I doubt it. Oh my God, it's on there. I'll take a look at it with the mirror. Make sure it's not. Yeah, it's plenty of room there. So wow. I've got this hose that'll easily come off. How am I gonna get that? I got it loose. I got that sucker loose. I can't believe it. God. And I'll be able to pull that thing out of here, right? I got that loose. I'm not going to take it completely out yet. I'm going to try that one, the one hiding way down there. And what I did is, if you have to do this, I got that Allen down, a 6-point Allen, right? To be stubby to fit underneath this thing. Then I took a crowbar and I put it on this hump on the transmission or bell housing, and it went like that, and it cracked it loose. Sweet. Maybe I'll be able to replace that after all of this work, huh? That's all I wanted to do. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but I got an Allen into the bottom one. So, I'm gonna try putting a vice grip on there and see if it'll break that loose, maybe, huh? Yeah, so I've been working on this lower one for about an hour. Another fun one. I get this in there. It's kind of wobbly in there. I don't know if that's rounded out in there. But when I get the short one that I modified, I can get that one in there, but it's going in this direction, and there's no, I'm having a hard time figuring that one out. But I get this one in there, and then I stick a crescent wrench on that, and then I stick this pipe over the crescent wrench and try to break it loose like that, and it's just not coming. It's just like half the time it just slips off the bolt. All right, I got them all loose. Took me an entire day. In the morning, I'll get them all off. But that was all day on that, on those wonderful Allens. Ugh. And I have a new gasket, and I'm going to take the gasket, I'm going to spray both sides of it, get this thing out, clean it all up, spray both sides of it with that copper spray, and then get it on there, tighten it down, and it'll sit there probably for a couple of days before I start the engine up, because that gasket area right there, there's like, pressure from the oil system, right? From 40, 60 psi, it's pressurized, so wherever there's oil, it's going to want to push it out. But that one, probably all I had to do was just tighten it, but I didn't know, And why is it loose to begin with? What the hell? Anyways, until tomorrow. Okay, so I got all the bolts out. 4 bolts. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of them look to be the same length. They're big suckers, aren't they? Look at the size of that. One of them is short, and what I do is I kind of mark it. It goes up in the upper hole up here. This one goes into that hole there, so on and so forth. I finally got it off after many sleepless nights. Stuff like this keeps me awake at night sometimes. But there's the inside of a pump. No gasket on this side. This is what the bracket looks like. Isn't that wonderful? We'll clean this thing up. Lord. And that's where the oil sender screws on too. Is that weird though? You want to see something really weird. Nobody's ever revealed this. Probably the only one on YouTube with this weird video. Turn this light on. Let's see if I can get this in here. Can you see it? I don't know why it's green. Is that weird? Why is it green? Oil. Come on, light, behave. Yeah, that's it. That is diesel oil, I guess. I don't know. But that's where I think the gasket's on that side there. Yeah, so we found one loose bolt. And maybe that's why it was leaking oil. Or it just, it was just time. It was 30 years. That is so cool. And I'm telling you, you do this job, you pretty wear some long sleeves because I I got I got more cuts on me. I put on long sleeves. I got more cuts and bruises from banging up against the sides, and some of these kind of things will just like slice right through you when you don't go past it. And it's leaking oil on the ground. It's okay. I put a can under there after a big huge puddle. I go, where's that coming from? Huh. Okay, anyway, so I guess now I gotta go shopping for food. Um, yeah, I guess today I can clean that thing up real good. Clean it up in there. Let all that oil seep out of there. Um, find my gasket. And then putting the bolts back are gonna be fun because it's really hard to reach some of those. I hope I don't mess the gasket up. I'll go real slow, real easy. I found it. Permatex copper spray, high temp sealant. And yeah, this goes up to 500 degrees, fills in minor irregularities. Yeah, ideal for exhaust manifold, cylinder heads, turbocharger flanges. This is what I used on the cylinder head, and it's not leaking. Old mechanic told me to use this stuff because it's an old engine, and there's so many heat cycles on these cars. So yeah, this is about 15 bucks. I'm glad I found it. All right. So before I forget, I think I already said it, but I'll say it again. The way that I got these bolts off was with a 6 millimeter hardened steel. Most of them are. Cheap ones from China are not going to be. Then I found another one in my junk box, shorty, and I cut half of it off like that. And then with that, I used just a combination of like I actually used this on one where you can slip it over here like that, and then turn it, break it loose, something like that. I used a small one like that. I think on one of them I used kind of a mini crowbar, like I don't see it in here. Yes, it's just kind of a, yeah, here it is. I used a crowbar and put it on a little hump on the bell housing. Then I had one of these like this, and I went like that, and it cracked one open. I mean, it's just that, if nothing was in the way, it'd be easy to get them off, but there's stuff in the way. I also had a combination of a bunch of little weird pipes. Like I had a pipe like this that I cut down. I'd put this over the Allen and use it for more leverage. Stuff like that. You'll get it off. Got that pretty clean. Used my Dremel with these little things, and then a little bit of cleaner. Get that out of the sun. Okay. Next is to clean out all the oil. Wow, it's warm today. What is it? 83. Everybody's freezing on the other side of the United States. Oh boy. A lot of fun oil there. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Okay. Last bolt. Took about 45 minutes to get these on. Sprayed it, got it on there. First I thought I messed it up. But then it all came together. Now I can start reversing the process to putting everything else back on. Done. These lovely instruments of destruction. All right, yeah. So I sprayed the gasket. Went through about 5 pairs of gloves. All in all, it was just a really pleasant experience. No, I wouldn't. I highly recommend doing this. I don't. Yeah, it's all clean and everything. I did manage to get the gasket off. At first I thought there wasn't a gasket, but this is the gasket. Razor blade, got it off. If you ever need to know. Let's see, where's the camera at? Right here. There's the part number for it. I don't know if it focuses or not. It's 601-184-05-8064 oil filter housing gasket. This was only like, I don't know, $2 or $3. But at least hopefully now I won't be dealing with that that oil leak anymore. All right. So I'm going to put this all back together. Should only take me maybe 4 minutes. That's if you're really fast. You can see how this goes together. This little black thing that you take off goes in on the other side. Goes on the other side, on the spring side, and then gets pushed into that hole. This gets pushed into the hole. You don't really need to mark this at all before, you know, taking it apart, because it stays the same. Here's your Bowden cable. Goes through right here, clips in. Right here, there's that clip. You basically just take it, hold your finger down on it and push it, and it'll snap in there. Don't let it get lost. Test for operation. Everything's good. This part should be down for the whatever that switch is, I forget. You can lube things if you want. I've lubed things before, so it's still greasy. Put that bracket back, tie wrap right here. Yeah, one note. I had this thing, it was all curled like that. I said, that's kind of weird looking. I looked at my old video that I took before taking everything apart, and I realized that I had this part on wrong. I had this was over on this side, so I just undid the clip and turned this whole bracket and then slipped it on and then put the clip on, and now it's all straight like the picture. I was going, what the hell? That would have been real weird on the transmission shifting. Okay. Yeah, I just thought I'd show you a little trick I did. So, see this hose right here? This is a Southern California car, United States. So there's some kind of a vacuum thing right here. I'm trying to remember where this part went. I think it goes to I think there's another vacuum line going to the transmission. Well, I wrapped tape around that, plugged it up, wrapped tape around it, and what that does is it you know, when you're driving, first thing in the morning when it's cold, it has like a transmission delay at until it's warm, then it shifts from I think a second to third, or whatever, or first to second. It kind of hangs up there for 30 seconds or 45 seconds until it shifts. They do that to warm the engine up so that it doesn't put out so many emissions, I believe. But if you plug that up right there, it'll just act normal. It'll just shift normal. It won't hang up. You know, all of my older Benzes have done that. I'm pretty sure it's emission related, or it's to warm the engine up, you know. Anyways. Quick little tip: when you put these back on, you got to make sure that this top part right here is below these threads on all of these. Okay, I had this one that was kind of stubborn. It was about halfway up, so I took a screwdriver and a little hammer and I tapped it and it snapped into place. This is what holds it down. Okay, well, I got it all back together. It's only one part I couldn't figure out where it goes. And it's this. It's just a little holder. I think it went somewhere on the same manifold, but I'll find it in time. But I think I got everything hooked up. Come on, baby, get some fuel. Well, I think we're doing pretty good. La 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 la. Let's check some voltage. Yeah, 13.7, 14, that's good. Let it warm up. I'll go for a drive and check the shifting and everything. Pretty cool. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy. That oil pressure gauge work? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Success. All right, so I'm done. No gas leaks anywhere. Car runs good. I reused the seals. They're okay. You know, you just gotta tighten those things down and it holds it in. So yeah, I don't think I think the total cost on that job was like $2.30, but it took a long time to get the work done. Anyways, this is John, and I'll see you on the next episode. Not sure what. I might be working on the SL. I'd like to figure out a way of turning off the it's a convertible, right? 1991. I made it from like 1989, 2002. It was an early version. Pretty much kind of the same, but a little bit different. But they have a kind of a problem that if you go to jump start this car, if the battery's dead, you risk frying the control module for the soft top. This is like located on the middle of the car inside, and those things can be like $1,800 for a used one, and like $2,000-3,000 for a new one if you can even find them. So I want to figure out a way of having a switch or pulling a fuse, figure out what fuse that box is on before the car's jump started. I have to research that, but that might be a good one for our R129 subscribers. Anyways, this is John. I'm done. 10 o'clock. Yay. I'll see you next time.